So, OpenAI, you know the name. It's the company behind ChatGPT, right? The tool that just exploded onto the scene and changed, well, pretty much everything overnight. I mean, think about it. Just a few years ago, they were this kind of niche research lab. Now, they're easily one of the most powerful, most influential companies on the entire planet. But if we really want to get a grip on where all of this is headed, we have to look at the story behind the tech. So let's get into it. Yeah, so many of us use their stuff every single day. But what is really going on behind the curtain? See, the story of OpenAI is this incredible paradox. It's a mix of these huge utopian promises on one hand and some really high-stakes risks on the other. So today, we're going to peel back the layers one by one to really try and understand the company that is, no exaggeration, shaping our future. Okay, first things first, we have to talk about the AI productivity boom. Because let's be real, there's just no denying that generative AI has been an absolute game changer. For companies everywhere, it's like they've suddenly been handed a superpower. And what's just wild is how fast this all happened. I mean, one day AI was this thing for researchers and tech nerds, and then boom, the next day it felt like a cornerstone of every business. You've got developers cranking out code faster than ever, marketing teams drafting copy in minutes. It's become this tool you just can't live without, kicking off this massive productivity wave. But, and this is a big but, this crazy fast adoption has a hidden side. Right, so as everyone is racing to jam these tools into their workflow, they're also, maybe without realizing it, flinging the door wide open to some pretty serious new security risks. This is the first layer we need to peel back, the hidden flaws in our data security. So, the first big issue here is this thing called shadow AI. Sounds kind of sinister, right? And it is. Basically, it's when employees, just start using whatever cool new AI tool they find online without getting it approved by IT. And every single time that happens, they're stepping outside the company's secure bubble, creating this huge security blind spot. It's a place where sensitive company data can just leak out. But honestly, the most common reason for an AI data breach is way simpler than that. It's just human error. It's called user-induced data exposure. Picture this. An employee is trying to get a report done fast, so they copy-paste a chunk of a confidential financial document, or maybe some secret company code, and just pop it right into a public AI chatbot. The second they hit enter, that data is gone. It's out there, potentially getting used to train some other model, or just sitting on a server somewhere, forever. And look, this isn't just some theoretical what-if scenario. It actually happened. Back in March 2023, OpenAI had to take ChatGPT completely offline. Why? Because of a very real data breach. A bug ended up exposing people's chat histories. Just the titles, but still. And for a small number of users, it even exposed their payment info. It was a huge wake-up call that, hey, even the biggest players in the game are vulnerable. But you know what? These technical risks, they're really only the beginning of the story. Because the risks here aren't just about bugs and data leaks. No. To really get OpenAI, you have to dig deeper into its very DNA. And what you find is this really strange, contradictory mission that's been there from day one. And here it is, the core tension right at the heart of the company. See, OpenAI started as a nonprofit. It had this huge, noble mission to make sure that artificial general intelligence, or AGI, benefits all of humanity. But to pay for all that research, they had to create a for-profit company. And that for-profit arm acts just like any other big Silicon Valley startup, raising billions of dollars and racing to get products to market. Now, according to journalist Karen Howe, and she was one of the very first reporters to get an inside look at OpenAI, that whole nonprofit thing wasn't just about ideals. It was also a really smart strategic move. Back in the early days, they couldn't possibly match the salaries that places like Google were offering. So what did they do? They competed on mission. That grand, idealistic vision was absolutely key for poaching some of the best researchers in the world. And this kind of fuzziness, you can really see it embodied in the CEO, Sam Altman. It seems like the story of what OpenAI is for kind of changes depending on who he's talking to. When he's in front of Congress, it's all about how AGI is going to cure cancer and solve climate change. But then, when he's talking to journalists, that massive vision sometimes shrinks down to just, building cool products. That inconsistency makes it really, really hard to know what the company's actual end game is. And that brings us to our next layer, and it's a big one. It's the controversy surrounding the man himself. Because while Sam Altman is often painted as this brilliant visionary, there are some pretty serious concerns coming from the people who know him best, the ones who've worked right alongside him. And we're not talking about disgruntled interns here. These are some heavy hitters. We're talking about the co-founder Ilya Sutskever, who reportedly said he doesn't think Sam is the right person to be in control of AGI. Then you have Jan Lake, who used to lead a safety team there. He left and publicly accused the company of putting shiny products ahead of actual safety. And then there are the Emoti siblings, both former VPs, who left to start a rival company, Anthropic. They've reportedly described his leadership style with words like gaslighting and psychological abuse. Now, beyond the professional critiques, Altman is also facing some extremely serious personal allegations. In January of 2025, his own sister, Ann Altman, filed a lawsuit against him. In it, she alleges that he sexually abused her over a period of several years, starting when they were children. For their part, Sam Altman and his family have strongly and completely denied these claims. They released a joint public statement calling the allegations utterly untrue and deeply hurtful. They also stated that his sister has been dealing with mental health challenges and that this entire situation is causing their family an immense amount of pain. So, okay, when you stack all of these layers up, you've got the hidden data risks, you've got the contradictory mission, and you've got the serious controversies around the leadership. It all points to a much, much bigger question. Who should be in charge of a technology this powerful? And what is the real cost of this incredible race to the top? I mean, the physical scale of what they're trying to build it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. Executives are literally talking about needing supercomputers the size of Manhattan in the future. Just try to imagine the amount of energy and water something like that would consume. The environmental cost, the resource cost, it's just staggering. And the geopolitical stakes, they are absolutely massive. That same journalist, Karen Howe, she draws this really powerful historical parallel. She compares it to the British East India Company, which was basically a corporation that got so powerful it was strategically aligned with an entire empire, and it wielded this incredible global influence. She argues we're seeing a modern version of that today, this alignment between Silicon Valley giants and world governments, and it's concentrating an unbelievable amount of power into the hands of just a few private companies. So, at the end of the day, OpenAI and all its rivals are building something that is going to fundamentally change our world. There's no doubt about that. But the decisions, the really big decisions about how it's built, what it's for, and who actually benefits from it, all of that is being decided by a very, very small group of people. So as this technology just gets more and more powerful, the question that we all have to ask ourselves is, who gets to decide what's next?